No hard feelings, right? I wasn't trying to play either one of y'all last time. Just that natural game, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, what's cracking, people? Anansi here, and welcome back to Jade. And by the last one, we spit some game and had to settle a love triangle that we had created, and we, solved two uh, the afterlife problems of two of the three ghosts given to us in a request by Gravedigger Shin, and taken out Fading Moon, I believe, the arsonist, who was completely off her tits. So in this one, we're going to continue on, finish up the graveyard issues with regards to Merchant Shin and collect the bounty. Now,
No, we can't allow that to happen. It would be too much to bear. But this poor wretch isn't much good either. No, not at all. But what else is there? What else is there? Work, damn you, work! Huh? What do you want? You can't have me, corpse. Not yet.
I am Zin Cipher, and I'm not dead.
You're not dead. I'm sorry, I just panicked. I thought you were some spirit here for revenge.
Revenge for what?
Ah, well, my work, you see, while very important, may upset some of those spirits not fully at peace.
What are you doing?
I am conducting my research. I am a doctor by trade, studying the internals of the body and the energies that drive it. But lately, I have come on hard times. My daughter, Wensi Wei, has fallen ill, and nothing in my previous training could help me with what ails her. Her liver has been rotted from within, corrupted by some energy I have never encountered before.
Some energy?
I don't know what it is, but it has prevented her liver from functioning. Now her body no longer responds. I fear she is dying. I could not stand the possibility of her loss, so I took matters into my own hands. I researched the workings of the body and the spirit, as well as the lore of the creatures that live beyond death. I believe I have found a way to save my daughter, but I have not been successful in my efforts.
What do you have to do?
I have found a way to strengthen, no, to replace the corrupt flesh of one living creature with that of another. Through the energies of the earth and by the divine will of heaven, her body can be made to accept the organ as if it were a part of her. She can be given a new life. But these cursed, wretched corpses do nothing for me. They are too old, too dead. Their organs are rotted beyond repair, even the ones recently buried. I need something else, something more. Either one that is perfectly preserved or one that is fresh. Her time is drawing near. If I cannot get a new organ for her soon, I fear it may be too late.
You want me to find you a liver?
I need a liver that has been perfectly preserved. Even a short time after death, the flesh begins to decay. Only a few rare bodies are truly well preserved. I have tried all the organs I could find, but none work. A nobleman here, Jizin, had his body preserved well enough and buried in this graveyard, but his corpse has moved.
I'll find the preserved nobleman for you.
Thank you. Whatever I can give you in reward, I will. Please hurry. The nobleman was buried in one of the larger tower tombs closer to the entrance. I tried to enter, but his corpse had risen, covered in the protective wrappings he was buried in. I would not have survived. Please, get the liver from him quickly.
A desperate man looking to Mad Winzy. Desperate man trying to save his daughter. The Nature of the Spirit, Volume 2. One encounter brought vividly to mind was deep in the mine along the ridges near the land of howling spirits. I was searching for a spirit I had seen the previous day, a spirit of moss and fungus that dwelt in this abandoned mine. Years earlier, the mines were so prosperous that several communities depended on them for their livelihood, but collapses, fires, and unexplained disappearances in the mines led people to become more and more fearful of them. A local monk ventured in one night. A local monk ventured in one night after hearing a disturbance, and he was never seen again. Thereafter, miners repeatedly reported hearing screams in the deepest tunnels and the voice of that young monk. Remember, we're following this little story of a monk gem of a monk who essentially is learning about the spirits of the world and kind of came to a conclusion. You saw the last part that the heavenly bureaucracy really doesn't care for people. That the emperor's a puppet, and humans are just tools for their amusement. Pretty sacrilegious when you think about it. And it's kind of weird that, I pretty much, I gave the opinion that it was kind of an atheistic look at this world, or inserting an atheist into the world. And it was interesting to take that stance because, well, for all intents and purposes, spirits exist. Gods exist. We bumped into them. People have seen them. But, it's just kind of odd when you think about it. But, I mean, it's the best way, I guess it's the best way to geez, now this is what too many to go into to get that liver. But it's just interesting to think about because, well, yeah, it's a way of denouncing the gods about denying them.
They tried to take from me, and they died. I feasted on their souls. Such is the evil I was in life, and am again in death. The underworld has no place for me. Jade lives.
Who are you?
I am evil incarnate, a man so vicious and vile that the spirits deemed me unfit to pass into death, and cursed me into this wretched form. Jade lives, indeed. Now I feed on the flesh and souls of the living, in payment for my vanity. My perfect body is a testament to my crimes. My very touch spreads my corruption.
You have a chance to repent for your sins.
A chance to repent? Can it be that after all this time, after years of living death, I am given this one chance to make something right? What is this chance you speak of, mortal? What is this false hope you dangle before me?
So we can fight him, or we can just say, I need your liver to save a young girl.
A girl? After so long, a girl? But I'm a vile and corrupt being, forever damned by the life I led, set here in this wretched form to walk forever.
If one is willing, there is always the chance for redemption.
Redemption? For one such as me? I think not. My life was spent in greed and vanity and corruption. Even in death, I sought to preserve my perfect form. For one whose madness and evil progress even into death? No, there is no hope for me. None at all. And you stand here mocking me for it?
If you save her life, you may be redeemed.
Ah, the temptation. Yes. So much logic, so much philosophy. But who knows what the heavens will truly decide in the end? But for the chance, and it is a girl, so young, I can taste her pain and suffering lingering about you. so like my own. The blood is thick in my veins, a solid mass where fluid used to flow, now dried and brittle. But the heart still stirs, and it can be moved, though tears no longer flow. My life has been wasted on my own sins, and in death I have nothing except them. This young thing, this girl, she still deserves life. If my end means this girl lives, then may the heavens look kindly upon me, even though I know they won't. If damnation is my fate, then let it be worth something in the end. Take what you need, mortal.
And just like that, we get a preserved liver. So yeah, Mad Zen wanted to do a transplant. So we could have fought him, and I believe if you fight him, I think the liver gets damaged. But if you resolve this with tuition, when you resolve it, you can get the liver without having to fight him. And it just once again goes to show that this is one of those situations where they did put some thought into how you would go about solving these problems, how you would go about crafting your journey. You're not going to be.
We were trained together. Your selection is only right.
They give you the option to essentially approach the game however you feel like. You don't have to bludgeon your way through. And this is something that I have noticed in a lot. I think I brought this up earlier, but this is something that I have noticed in a lot of newer RPGs, where they give you the option, or they not give you the option. It is something that a lot of people praise, the ability to resolve a conflict in an RPG without having to throw hands or, fight people. You can resolve it with your word, with your intellect. And I've noticed that has been a thing that's seen a lot of players strive for in RPGs. I think it kind of makes some games boring, but it is nice to see that they give the option to do it, so that if you want to be able to talk your way through most conflicts, you can. You can. Yeah, there are games where you can play the game and never fire a shot. I think that is commendable. Okay, Lindsay, got something for you.
It can't be done. It can. Why not? It's a perfectly reasonable assumption. There's no reason why it shouldn't. No! It has to work! It has to! Have you managed to find some way to help me?
I have a preserved liver.
You do? Thank you. Yes. It looks like it's been preserved well enough. I am amazed that you managed to get this intact. Now I must begin quickly. Her life energy is fading fast. It looks like the operation has worked. She should be safe now. Her breathing has slowed and her heart rate is returning to normal levels. It will be some time before she can stand on her own again. But I'm certain she will make it. Not here, though. Not in this place of death. Thank you, stranger, for what you have done for me. As I promised, I will give you all that I have left. Everything else was spent in pursuit of this dream. I must take her to a place where she can heal. You have my eternal gratitude for what you have done.
Thank you for what you have done. I have been redeemed in my own eyes and in the eyes of heaven. Peace indeed can come to any soul.
Good can come from any man. His choice saved him.
And there we go. So I forgot I did not have Still Fox out again, but that's just me. But yeah, so we did good. We got money, we saved a child, and we redeemed a cursed man. Probably should not have done this. I'm gonna die. Out here. Yep, I died. I died. That's a little most recent. I'm probably going to redo a couple of things. I'll cut back when we're back to where we were. Alright, and we're back. So, yeah, you can tell you can get messed up inside this area pretty quickly. I classify this as that's probably the hardest part in the game, just because you get absolutely... I'm about to die again, actually. Out of here. Can I not leave? Really? Well, luckily I saved just before here, but man, that is annoying. That is actually annoying. So, yeah, this is... I classify this as the hardest part in the game just because they throw so many of these lost spirits at you. If the lost spirits... Now, maybe I just don't have the right gems on, but for the love of me, I feel like the lost spirits do way too much damage, right? They can drain your health and your chi with every hit. And I think it's like, okay, if you're going to drain my chi, at least nerf how much damage they take away from you. You know? You pretty much have to have your focus maxed out if you're going to fight these guys. And I don't have my focus bar up. I probably should have stopped by that tomb now that I think about it. But, I mean, it's doable. It's doable, but it's... You gotta be on your game with it, you know? And slip on by. Alright, there we go. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's doable, but you have to just know where to go. And I'm going to warn you right now, running along the outer rim of that doesn't always work. I think that is one way to stop the ghosts from spawning, but you still will have to deal... But there's still a chance that it won't, like, trigger or whatnot. So you just have to be really, really careful with it. But yeah, no, continuing my point I was making. So yeah, the last part, yeah, so I feel like, and I mentioned it before, that as games are advancing more and more, and as they're giving you more freedom of choice, how do you... I guess I brought, and I did bring this up. I don't know if I asked the question before, but if I did, I'm gonna ask it again just in case. How do you feel about being essentially railroaded to make a decision on who your partner is for, who your romantic partner is for a particular game playthrough, or for a particular playthrough? I think that that's probably going to change. That's me personally. I think I brought that up earlier. But what I think it should be is a reward for like maxing something out and picking the right dialogue choices, you know? Let's go ahead and turn in some of these quests real quick, and then we'll just continue on that tangent. Grave Digger Shin.
The grave digging business.
Want to talk to you about some tropes and ghosts. I dealt with Miss Chan.
Well, that's a relief. Can't have her going off and trying to rip out my eyes or something every time I go around there. I need those eyes. Here's the reward I promised you. Now, if you find any more, remember, I'll pay good money for you to put them back down again. So get out there and get some ghosts. Venerated ancestors. Anything?
I dealt with Merchant Bai.
Well, that makes things easier on me for sure. Now I can start selling those old plots again. Next time I'll just throw the bones in the river and be done with it. Here's the reward I promised you. Now, if you find any...
Okay, is he selling anything else? No, I don't want to do that yet. Okay, so we got to level up. Let's go ahead and spin that. But yeah, so I mean, I think that it would be okay if it was a reward for like doing the right skill, like doing the right speech pattern, well, speech pattern, but doing the right what's the one over here? For essentially just what's the one over here? I think it should be a reward for doing the right set of missions, for for what's the one for you? For doing the right missions, for doing we're having a high enough, like, I guess, skill check. I think is the term. Yeah, it's the term. It depends on who you talk about. But it is a skill check, but just generally just having your character at the peak and get at the peak of what you can do, and then have it be a reward, like you've done these specific set of quests in this specific order, doing these specific things. You can then make the option. You then unlock the option if you want. Not unlock the option to have I guess a harem ending a harem ending if you really wanted to. But as it stands now, a lot of games make you choose. Um, One of those art reflecting life kind of modes. Because let's be honest here, as much as people like to imagine that it works out, a lot of times these multiple partner relationships just don't seem to pan out the way people want them to. So it's better off that they give you the option to. Well, it's better off that they pretty much say, "Hey, you gotta pick. You gotta pick. You don't you don't get to have your cake and eat it too." But once again, I want to know your opinions down below. Do you think that things will change? Do you stay the same? Do you think that it should be like one of those, like you reach the pinnacle of what you can do in this game, you get that as a reward? Because there are games that the one that comes to mind is the Persona series. Persona's 3, 4, and from what I hear, I haven't played this one, but from what I hear, Persona 5, if you go the route of trying to get every single girl to fall in love with you, they make you feel like the worst kind of being alive. Like, they guilt trip you for doing it, but in a lot of cases, you have to do it for 100%. So it's like, you guilt trip me for doing it, but I kind of have to do it, you know? So, let's see, Captain Zen. I got a.
Always a pleasure.
I wanna click the bounty.
Yes, I heard that Fading Moon's arsons had ended. Excellent work. Burning the poor is troubling after a fashion, but the scholars and merchants, that was her mistake.
The poor deserve your protection too.
Yes, of course they do, and they shall have exactly as much protection as they can afford to contribute to the taxes. Here's the standard bounty. Accept it with the thanks of the Empire. Well, that brings an end to our pursuit of two fiends. A shame I don't have more work for someone with your skills.
Do you have any information about that criminal hunted by the assassins?
I know little more than what the Honorable Lotus Assassin presented. Some treasonous southerner has been undermining the Ministry of Harmony and causing countless deaths.
It sounds as if the assassins are worried.
The Lotus Assassins are never worried. Their control, their protection, I should say, of the Empire is absolute. What could threaten them?
Sounds like you're angling for a quick promotion.
I would like to advance, but I'm not angling. I simply accept that the Lotus Assassins are the true power in the Empire, and I support them.
Is there a bounty on this girl to the south?
Not as such. The Lotus Assassins want to deal with this traitor personally. I don't envy anyone who has attracted that kind of attention.
I wonder if we're being told the whole story. Could this criminal be justified in their actions?
There is no such thing. If the Lotus Assassins have identified a treasonous criminal, you can be assured that person is guilty of something, or will be soon.
I should go.
Of course. Thanks again for your help with those miscreants.
And 2,000 silver.
A great bounty hunter to have dealt with 2 cases in so little time. Your work is not done, though.
There's something very odd about this man, but I can't say what.
There is another in this city with a price on her head. A richer price than those 2. Her name is Aishi the Mournful Blade, and you can find her at the Black Leopard School.
How do you know where a criminal can be found?
I watched her walk into this city, and now I tell you, there's no mystery in this.
What is this Icy accused of?
She is accused of most crimes, and several had to be invented to account for her actions. She is a terror upon the face of the Empire. Murder, theft, and worse, yet never a smile or a hint of revelry in what she did. That is why she is known as Aishi, the Mournful Blade.
Okay, why are you telling me this?
Because I want you to know. My role in this matter is of no concern to you. I am simply an old man who sees a chance for some good to come from bad.
Alright, well, thank you for information. You can go.
When you reach her, you should ask her for her story. She has a most interesting tale to share.
Okay, well, that was interesting. And I forgot I had Dawnstar out. So, well, that's
I'm
so
not accustomed to following orders, but I will try.
So we have to deal with Aishi the Mournful Blade now. I remember this quest, but I forgot that we got it. Hey, Jinlin, what's up?
Hello again. Professor Shuji was so happy to see the artifact that he released me and my mom from our debts. Thank you again for all your help.
No problem, kiddo. Keep a step up a left. So now we're gonna go. I guess we'll go ahead and handle this.
Ah, it's you. I wanted the chance to thank you again for what you have done for my daughter. She can live a full and healthy life now, one a father can be proud of. I thank you once more. I hope the heavens look kindly on you and give you a fate to be proud of.
All right, not bad. I'm not gonna lie, forgot that was there. So we're gonna go ahead. Let's get I need the bar of nickel iron. We are gonna need that, and we are gonna need to do some traveling around here pretty soon. But, Lena and Junda. There's Prefect Jing. Where was she? I need to see where she is so I know where to go find her. They said it's by the Black Leopard School. Is it over here? Boy, girl. Generically, boy and girl. Something Ren. We'll find her eventually. But right now, let's go ahead and deal with Aishi the Mournful Blade, and go from there. But yeah, no, I want you to leave it down in the comments below. Like, what do you think should happen, will happen with regards to romance options in future games? Ren Feng. Yeah, this is her right here. So yeah, we'll do with her on the way back. But I am curious because it's just an interesting thing to bring up, because it's just interesting from just to see it, because from the pure aspect of what a video game is, giving you the ability to, because I mean, a video game, a lot of people want free control, free movement, freedom to do whatever they want within the confines of the gaming world. But when you have the option to do something and then they punish you for making that choice, I wonder about that. Like, I don't know. I feel like that there's a way that it can be done without trying to bash you over the head with like some moral story or something like that. I believe Aishi the Mournful Blade is in one of these. No, that's not it. She's in a Black Leopard School, or is she in a corner? She could have been in a corner somewhere. I know she's around here somewhere. Huh. That brother's still there. Whispering Willow. Wait, did she still?
Out, out, out! The dining hall is a mess, and I doubt you're here to help me clean.
Okay, so no. Is she in? No, wait. Study cannot be opened at this time. If only there's a way inside. Is she upstairs? She might be upstairs. Okay. Okay, how odd. I know she's around here somewhere, but I feel like I'm missing something here, and that's no good. Aishi the Mournful Blade. Let's talk to First Brother.
You're welcome to visit the school and spar with us whenever you like. The students need someone like you to knock some sense into them from time to time.
I should go. Okay, so she's not there. Is she? Oh, here she is. Huh. Not gonna lie, I thought you couldn't cross this.
My name is Aishi, the Mournful Blade. And if you are another hunter come to claim my head, I suggest you turn around and walk away. That one didn't listen to me. I hope you have more sense.
An old man told me you had a story to tell. You don't know what you're dealing with if you think you can threaten me.
I have a tale to finish. I see no need to tell it to anyone but myself. Stranger, if you continue to talk to me, I will stand up and face you. If that happens, our meeting will end with one of our deaths.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
So be it. You're not what I expected. Harmony surrounds you and flows out into the world as you pass. I have a story I would share willingly with you if you would hear it.
Well, let's hear this tale of yours.
Do you know anything of me? Anything of the terror that is Aishi, the Mournful Blade?
Why don't you tell me in your own words?
In my years in this empire, I have been a wanted criminal, a bandit, a murderer, and worse. I have burned entire towns to the ground to avenge some petty dispute between lords and led men to slaughter peasants by the score for their meager possessions. It is all too easy to lose your conscience once you have denied it. I was not always like this, but I remember all too well how my descent began.
What happened?
My father died when I was still a girl, and with him gone I felt no sense of direction. I had no other family to turn to, and so I was alone. I met a boy. He was a natural leader. He had drive and direction. I was in love. He used to enjoy tormenting the children of our village, and I thought it was all fun. Then, one day...
Go on. What happened?
He pushed a young boy into the river outside of town. It was fast-moving and would have swept the child away, but he managed to grab hold of a rock.
That's terrible. Why would he do such a thing?
Why, indeed. In the intervening years, I've come to believe that it was more than simple horseplay. There was a gleam in my young man's eye that I cannot forget. The child screamed for help. His cries were shrill with terror, for he could not swim. I moved to help him, but I felt a hand on my arm. The boy I loved turned to me and said, "If we help him, he'll only tell the others what we have done. We have to let him go." Something in his voice. I believed him.
What happened to the child?
That poor child was swept away in the current and was found dead downriver days later. We never told anyone what we had done, but I could never forget. If we help him, he'll only tell the others what we've done. We have to let him go. Simple words, but they still echo in my head even now. Nights are worse. I can't sleep for the screams of that boy as he washed away. I still hear them to this day.
I don't know if it was really your fault.
Whether that moment was mine or not no longer matters. I've done far worse since, always hoping to forget what happened. As if the cries of others would drown out that child's. That is why I have come here now. I am tired of my life, but at least I have lived it. He deserved to live as I did, but has never felt a moment's remorse for his part in that day. If you came here because of the rich reward on my head, you may even know him. Captain Sin of the Imperial Army is my quarry. I must make him pay for that boy's life.
Oh, wow. Captain Sin. Captain Sin was the young man you were in love with?
You know him, clearly. Until now, I wasn't sure how I would approach him, but you may have provided the answer. If you help me, I know how I can reach Sin. You need merely to escort me to his station by the gate. A subdued prisoner could get close enough to deal with Sin. Once I have dealt with him, you shall have your bounty. I couldn't let you be implicated in my final murder.
Why do you care about this? Aren't you a heartless criminal?
They do not call me the Mournful Blade because I enjoy what I do. Years of remembering the first time I let it go have caused me to develop a conscience. Why else ask this boon of you? One last chance to do something right before one of the hunters finally catches me.
Well, if what you say is true, Sin deserves what's coming to him.
Let's go write an ending to my tale.
Yeah. That was one heck of a plot twist. This is one of the more memorable stories that BioWare has put inside their RPGs. And inside RPGs, they always have at least one or two side stories that are more memorable than the main story. This story, I'll admit, I remember it. I do remember, but it's been so long that I forgot. But it still hits you where it really matters when you hear it. It's a short one. Less than maybe 5 minutes, but you learn what this woman went through, and you learn how one guy manipulated her and essentially broke her at a young age by doing nothing but imparting words in her head.
What is the meaning of this?
Hello, my love. Or should I call you by your rank now, Captain Sin? Surely it's been a very long time.
Aishi, what are you doing here? You're a wanted criminal. You can't be here.
Do you deserve to be standing here any more than her, Captain?
It's time I paid for my crimes.
Well, it's good to see our new bounty hunter was able to bring you in. Frankly, Aishi, I thought you'd fight to the death. You weren't this weak when...
No, I was weak. Otherwise, I would have ignored you by the river. I'm going to pay for my crimes, but there's one thing I have to do first. I have to kill you.
What? No! Guards!
Your men will be dead before they can get within 3 paces of me, Captain. Don't order them to their deaths. I already owe you 1 lifetime of pain. Do not bring more than that upon yourself.
She's mad! She means to kill me! You, protect me. I'll double the bounty.
If I help you, you'll only tell the others what I've done. I have to let you go.
Damn you both! You're both going to waste away between worlds! I'll make sure the underworld won't take your rotting corpses!
Sin is dead. Dead like that poor boy we let wash away. I should have made him suffer more. Stranger, I cannot thank you enough. I have touched 1,000 lives with my crimes, and yet now I feel some peace. It is time my story ended. I have only one more favor to ask. Face me now and grant me an honor... No, there is no honor left for me. Just grant me an end.
Just walk away. You deserve your peace.
You can't be the one to let Aishi the Mournful Blade walk free. That would cast undeserved suspicion upon you, and that crime I will not commit. Face me, and let this battle be glorious enough that the city will talk of it for generations.
Very well. Let's do this. Oh, I forgot to mention, I kind of learned this between parts. Well, we'll get to this in a second. But yeah, actually, and this is how her story ends. We have to end it for her. Now, I actually have done this fight without any help on my hand. It is a pretty interesting fight. Also, Icy fights with the exact same duel style that Crimson Kana teaches you. So it's literally, I think if you upgrade your dual blade style, you pretty much just get new blades. So yeah. Old man.
I hoped it would end this way. She may have found some peace. Here, take this. It's something Aishi would have wanted you to have, I think. I hate for a good deed to go unrewarded.
Good deeds are their own reward.
Ha! There's little reward in a good deed, and just the opposite for those who walk the low path. I know that better than most. Aishi the Mournful Blade was my daughter.
You're lying. She said her father died when she was young.
I think she must have found some peace now, and I can finally rest. It has been too long since I turned away from the Water Dragon's embrace.
Turned away? Wait, you're dead?
You couldn't tell? A spirit monk? Ah, but you are not fully trained, and I have refused to let any part of myself slip away.
How do you know about my heritage?
One of your kind came for me many years ago. I told her that I wanted to see my daughter grow up, and she allowed me to stay. Your kind were shepherds of the dead, but that never meant you were heartless. She said one day another of her order would come for me. Ironic, really. I died before the gates to the underworld closed, but I couldn't let go of my daughter. I worried for her, and rightly so, but I think she will find peace now. Every ghost slips into madness over time, but some of us have a reason not to. We can fight back the longing and despair for a time.
What will you do next?
I will wait. What choice do I have? I know the underworld is cut off, but I must try to fight through the despair and anger. I have some idea of what you face. Take my best wishes as you try to set things right. I have waited for more than 2 decades. I can wait a bit more, and now I have a reason to smile.
Gem of Unity. Now, if you remember correctly, Zenbu actually had one of these. Now we got Mind +3, Body +3, Spirit +3. Only follows of the way of the open palm. He uses gem to find true unity. Yeah. So if you remember correctly, Zenbu had a gem like this.
Real gems lately. Just look and see.
See? So yeah, we got a couple of things. We're gonna get the Tiger Mantra, this and this. So yeah, if you remember correctly, you receive a boss of First Water and Calvazor. But yeah, if you remember correctly, yeah, Zenbu had one, and this is how you get one for free. And once again, when I hit this part, and the guy just dropped the bombshell, yeah, I've been dead this whole time. Took you long enough to figure it out. It really ran home. At least for me, it really ran home the overall message of the game, that there are people like him waiting to pass on, and it's your duty as a spirit monk to see that they reach their afterlife. And it's stories like this, it's writing like this that makes a RPG what it is. It's not just the main quest, it's not just the mechanics, not just the characters you ride with, it's also the characters you meet along the way, the characters who don't come along on your journey, but add the flourishes on top of it that really accentuate what kind of journey you go on. And when you find an RPG that does that, when you find a game that really gets that, those are the games that last. And I just hope that we get more and more of those going forward. Anyway, this is Anansi. This has been Jade Empire, and I'll catch you later.